that n is equal to n naught e power minus lambda t from the law of radioactive decay, where n is number of the sample remaining after some time, n naught is the original sample at t instant of time 0, lambda is the decay constant, t is the instant of time. So from this, today topic of lifetime. Of lifetime period should be denoted with capital T. What is meant by of lifetime? So it is nothing but time taken by number of radioactive nuclei disintegrating to the half of the original number of the nuclei. అంటే మనం తీసుకున్న ఒరిజినల్ నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ న్యూక్లీలో అది సకానికి అంటే డిజింటిగ్రేట్ అయిపోవాలి, అంటే ఆల్ఫా బీటా గామా రేడియేషన్స్ వెళ్ళిపోతూ అది దాని యొక్క లైఫ్ టైము ఆఫ్కి వచ్చేసినప్పుడు దాన్ని మనం ఆఫ్ లైఫ్ టైం పీరియడ్ అని చెప్తూ ఉంటాం. దాన్ని మనం డెఫినేషన్లో ఎలా చెప్పాలంటే టైం టేకెన్ ఫర్ ద రేడియోయాక్టివ్ నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ రేడియోయాక్టివ్ న్యూక్లీ ఓకే టు డిజింటిగ్రేట్ టు ఆఫ్ ఆఫ్ ద ఒరిజినల్ నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ న్యూక్లీ. దట్ మీన్స్ T is equal to, let us say T, capital T, n is equal to n naught by 2. That means the remaining sample will be equal to the half of the original sample. This is the condition for half lifetime period. Okay. So substitute these values in the yesterday. So we are already proven that radioactive decay is exponential in nature. So substitute where n is equal to n naught by 2. n naught is equal to n naught minus e power, because since n is equal to n naught by 2, so small t should be equal to capital T, that is half-life time. Okay. So n naught becomes cancel, then we get 1 by 2 is equal to e power minus lambda t. So this should be written as 1 by t is equal to 1 by e power lambda t, or e power lambda t is equal to 2. Okay. If you take out the log, lambda t is equal to log base e of 2. So to convert log base e into log base 10, then for lambda t is equal to 2.303 log base 10 of 2. So the value will be equal to 2.303 into 0.303 some, then we get lambda t is equal to 0.693. Okay, therefore t is equal to 0.693 by lambda. So this is the relation between t and lambda. Lambda is the decay constant, t is the half lifetime period, both are inversely proportional. Therefore half lifetime t is equal to 0.693 by lambda. So how do you prove this half lifetime derivation? So from the derivation, radioactive decay is exponential with nature. Take out this equation. In this equation, we have to substitute in the place of small t, it will be capital T. So this is half lifetime. In the place of n, we have to substitute n naught by 2. That means sample remaining should be equal to the half of the original sample. So substitute these values in this equation. In the place of n, we have substituted n naught by 2, n naught e power minus lambda, small t instead of small t we have substituted capital T. n naught will be cancelled, then 1 by t is equal to e power minus lambda t. So this should be written as 1 by t is equal to 1 by e power lambda t. Or e power lambda t is equal to 2, take out the log, lambda t is equal to log base a of 2, then convert log base a of e into log base 10, we have to introduce a constant value 2.303. From on solving, we get t is equal to 0.693 by lambda. So where t is the half lifetime, lambda is the decay constant, both are inversely proportional. So then next one, about after half life, then we should have to discuss about mean life. Next, mean life. mean life should be denoted with tau. How can you define mean life? So what is the definition for the mean life? So actually mean life or another name average life or mean life should be denoted with tau. What is mean life or average life? It is equal to the total lifetime of all the nuclei divided by total number of the original nuclei. That is total lifetime of all the nuclei should be denoted with integral TDN divided by original number of nuclei. Original number of nuclei should be denoted with N0. Total lifetime of all the nuclei divided by original number of the nuclei. This ratio will be equal to the mean life or average life. So from this we can write this above equation should be T dN. From the law of radioactive decay we know that minus dN by dt directly proportional to the n. That means radioactive decay, that means number of nuclei decayed directly proportional to the original number of nuclei. So here minus sign indicates if time passage increases, number of nuclei will be decreases. This should be written as dN by dt. Introduce constant lambda in the decay constant minus dN. So n, okay, dN is equal to minus lambda n dt. So dN is equal to minus lambda. N value we know that n naught e power minus lambda t dt. Substitute these values in the place of dN, then we get dN value will be minus lambda n naught e power minus lambda t dt. Is n naught by n naught. On integrating we get on integrating we get tau is equal to 1 by lambda. Tau is equal to lambda value. So we are already calculated half-life temperature T is equal to 0.693 by lambda. Therefore lambda is equal to 0.693 by T. Substitute the value in the place of lambda 0.693 by T. So therefore tau is equal to T by 0.693. This is the value for mean life or average life. It is nothing but total lifetime of all the nuclei divided by original number of the nuclei. So in the place of dN we are substitute the value minus lambda n naught e power minus lambda t dt. So divided by n naught. On integrating we get so mean life or average life is equal to 1 by lambda. So 1 by lambda value, so lambda value we know that 0.693 by T. From the half-life time period we are already derived. So therefore tau is equal to mean life or average life is equal to T by 0.693. So how can you define this decay constant? For decay constant also they are given one definition. Decay constant lambda is equal to minus dN by dt direct divided by n naught. So okay, minus dN by dt divided by n. That means this is the ratio of rate of radioactive decay to the number of nuclei present at that instant. Rate of radioactive decay to the number of nuclei present at that instant. Lambda also we can be written as minus dN by dt divided by n. This is mean life, and already we have discussed about the half-life. So next question in this some questions they may ask about, the question may be like this. How can they ask sometimes this question in 4 marks? See here, deduce the relation between half-life and average life of a radioactive substance. That means relation between half-life as well as average life or mean life of the radioactive substance. So then we have to derive first half-life. how a half-life should be denoted with T. How? Just now we have derived this. This is nothing but time taken the half of the radioactive substance to disintegrate to original number of the nuclei. Okay, this should be written from the equation n is equal to n naught t power minus lambda t. N is equal to n naught by 2. So t should be equal to capital T. Substitute these values in the above equation. This that then becomes n naught by 2 and n naught e power minus lambda t. N naught becomes cancelled. Then you get e power minus lambda t. This also we can write as 1 by t is equal to 1 by e power lambda t. Therefore, e power lambda t is equal to log e power lambda t is equal to 2. This can be written as lambda t is equal to log base e of 2. So then this becomes log base 2, 2.303 log base 10 of 2. Then we get lambda t is equal to 0.693. So therefore t is equal to 0.693 by lambda. This is the relation for we are already derived for half-life time. So how do you derive the mean life now? So mean life should be denoted with a tau. So total number of nuclei divided by original number of the nuclei. Total lifetime of all the nuclei should be written as TDN. Original number of nuclei should be denoted with n naught. This can be written as tau is equal to integral t dn value. Dn value we have to derive here. How we have to get the dn value? So look at here, from the law of radioactive decay. Law of the rate of radioactive decay is directly proportional to number of nuclei present at that instant from the definition. Therefore, this we can written as dn by n directly is equal to minus lambda and dn by dt. This is rate of radioactive decay, directly proportional to number of nuclei present at that instant. This can be written as dn is equal to minus lambda n dt. dn is equal to minus n value here n naught e power minus lambda t dt. That should be written here dn value minus lambda n naught e power minus lambda t dt by n naught. So on integrating we get 1 by lambda. Tau is equal to, or average life is equal to lambda value. So from this lambda value will be equal to 0.693 by t. Write the value here 0.693 by t. Therefore mean life or average life is equal to t by 0.693. See the mean life or average life. This is the relations between mean life and half life and mean life. Relation between half life and mean life. Very important one for 8 marks question in public examination. Nuclear reactor generally used to prepare nuclear fuels and generating the electric power. Generally in Andhra Pradesh there are two types of electric generating power stations are there: thermal power plants and hydroelectric power plants. In thermal power plants, generally turbines, that means dynamos, turbines are connected to dynamos. They are rotated, turbine blades are rotated with the steam. So that means water will be heated by burning the coal. So large amount of steam is used to rotate the turbine blades in case of thermal power plants. But in case of hydroelectric power plants, kinetic energy of water is used to rotate the turbine blades. Turbines are connected to the dynamo, in turn dynamos are rotated. They convert some mechanical energy into electrical energy. Here, in case of nuclear power plants, nuclear fuels such as plutonium, uranium, enriched uranium, uranium-90 to 235 or 238, these are the fuel elements. So these are used. So they are collide or bombarded with fast moving neutrons. So in the previous class we have discussed neutrons are the best projectiles because they do not have any charge. So they have high penetrating power, low ionization power. So when high enriched uranium let us say uranium so 90 to 235 will be collide with the fast moving neutron. So uranium will be break up into two or equal fragments, two or more equal fragments. That means that means barium and as well as krypton, along with three fast moving neutrons in each reaction, and a large quantity of heat is released, nearly 200 MeV. Okay, 141, 92, 56, 36, that means both sides will be equal. So this enriched uranium will be collide with this fast moving neutron and it will be break up splits. That means here it is uncontrolled chain reaction, fissionable reaction. A fissionable reaction takes place, controlled chain reaction. We can control this fission reaction with the help of a nuclear reactor. So finally barium, krypton, in each reaction three fast moving neutrons are released. Again the neutrons collide the uranium. That means once this reaction will be started, it will be goes on continuous until the whole that uranium substance will be exhausted. That's why it is called a chain reaction. So fissionable chain reaction will take place. That is the working principle in nuclear reactor. So in every reaction there will be three fast moving neutrons are generated. These three will be goes on increasing on multiplication. So the three neutrons again collide this parent material and this reaction will be goes on continuously with increasing number of these neutrons. That's why it is called chain reaction. How this fission reaction, chain reaction will be controlled. So what are the important parts are there in this nuclear reactor? Let us see what are the important parts are present in the nuclear reactor. One is that fuel elements. Second one is moderator. Third one is the control rods. Fourth one, the protection, radiation shielding. Fifth one, coolant. So these are the main parts in the nuclear reactor. Fuel elements, they are made with in the type of aluminum cylindrical rods nearly 1 centimeter diameter. Inside of that there will be uranium elements such as plutonium or enriched uranium or uranium 90 to 235. So in the case of cylindrical rods, that will be fuel elements. So here there will be fuel elements. So these are the fuel elements, uranium 90 to 238 or 235 in the form of aluminum cylinder of 1 centimeter diameter. So these are the moderators. These are the moderators. So these are the control rods to control the chain reaction. So coolant water is circulated to remove the heat. So okay, that is the coolant. So finally the steam will goes to the turbine. So goes to the turbine to rotate the turbine with the help of steam pressure. Turbines are connected to the dynamo. So this is the complete picture of nuclear reactor. So when fast moving neutrons collide the fuel elements, so this chain reaction will be takes place. Okay, so fast moving neutrons are evolved to control the fast moving neutrons. So that means they reduce their velocity with the help of this moderator. That means moderators are used to slow down. That is the main function of moderator. Moderators are used to slow down the velocity of the neutrons. So and then participate the neutrons in the chain reaction again. So generally graphite or heavy water are used as the moderator. So next control rods. Control rods made with boron or cadmium. Remember, made with boron or cadmium. Here when the number of neutrons will be increases, temperature and reaction rate of reaction also increases. To control that, we have to insert these control rods. That means వీటిని ఇలా కిందకి నెట్టినట్టయితే these control rods absorb the number of neutrons and decreases the or slow down the rate of chain reaction. Okay, that is the function of control rods. Control rods are made with boron or cadmium. So they can absorb the excess neutrons and decreases the or controls the rate of chain reaction. So radiation shielding. So here in the nuclear reactor, when there is chain reaction at the time, so alpha, beta and gamma radiations are avoided. They may harm the operating persons. So to protect the persons from these harmful radiations, so there should be a 10-meter thickness wall should be constructed around this core. Okay, that will with either concrete or lead walls. That is the 10-meter thickness. They protect the persons who are operating from gamma radiations. So okay, that is called radiation shielding. It will be 10-meter thickness of concrete walls. Coolant. To remove the heat in this reactor, water should be circulated. So to remove the heat from the core. So and at this time the water gets heated. The water absorbs the heat from the core and becomes steam. The steam is given to the steam turbines to rotate. This high pressure of this steam will rotate the turbine blades. So the turbines are connected to the dynamo. When turbines rotated, dynamo is also rotated and it produces electrical power. So this is the complete picture and description of this nuclear reactor. Okay, here are the important parts in nuclear reactor: fuel elements, moderator, control rods, radiation shielding and coolant.